Hello guys, Tony here. I posted a video this morning about the earthquake in North Carolina. That my wife had felt it early this morning when it first happened, and I posted it before I had heard what it was, anything. But she thought that it was a little minor earthquake. And I had mentioned that I had a dream about an earthquake in that very spot where she works. Now, she's only been there for a short time, so when I had this dream, she didn't work in that area. But I said that if we find out that this was an earthquake, that dream could have been it could have been a sign. And I talked about the earthquake in the previous video, not the follow-up of the earthquake, but the one before that, the South Carolina earthquake. And I said that if it turns out to be a real earthquake, that I was going to post some other dreams that I feel now that may be important. So I'm going to go back a ways. I've had a bunch of them. I want to start with one I had about 3 years ago or so. And it was when my daughter was 11. She's 14 now. I had dreamed that me and some family and some of the in-law family of my brothers were all in the woods, all of which have passed away, I believe, except for maybe one or two people that was in the dream. They've all passed away. But they were in the dream. Anyways, we were in the woods, running. And in the woods, I mean like in our backyards, or in my backyard. And we were like out, so there's woods in my backyard, and there's other people's houses, here and there. And people have storage buildings and all. And in my dream, we were running back and forth, trying to dodge what appeared to be bombs hitting the earth. And in my dream, I felt that we were being attacked, but didn't know what exactly it was. We ran up on a house, a group of us, up on an abandoned house, a recently abandoned house, I mean like within hours. And we ran inside to seek shelter from what appeared to be bombs hitting. And as we entered the back door into like a little foyer area, almost like a mudroom, there was a door, a little couple stairs that went up into the house. On the left and to the right, there was a door with a padlock, not a regular padlock, but like a button, like a lock with buttons on it that you number, like a keypad. And so I remembered that going into the house, and we went into the house, and then we walked like through the kitchen area and into a den area where a TV was playing, but it was honestly, it was more like a computer than a TV. And so I'm not real sure. It could have been a computer, and it could have been a small TV, but it seemed like it might have been like a computer, home computer. And there was news playing on it, but it wasn't like news on the TV kind of news. It was more like secular media. Just for instance, something like Alex Jones or something. The way they were talking, and they were talking about what was happening outside, but I don't remember what they were talking about. I just remembered it hearing, and I was about to listen to it when a major explosion happened right outside the window in the room we were in, and it was just a big flash of light. I mean, like a bomb went off, and we ran outside, and a big piece of wood from a tree. This thing had hit a tree, whatever it was. A big piece of wood flew into my daughter, hit her right in the chest, and she fell on the ground, and she was dying. And I ran up to her, and my niece grabbed her first, and she was holding her, and I was looking into her eyes, and she couldn't talk, but she looked like she was dying, and like the life was fading out of her eyes, and I started screaming, and then the bomb started hitting again, and the dream kind of went somewhere else, and we were all running again through the woods. And the whole time I'm trying to get back to the house to get to my daughter. When I finally get back to her, I mean, there's bombs going off everywhere. I mean, or something blowing up everywhere. It was horrific. And when I got back to that house, my niece had come up to me. She says, Uncle Tony, my daddy put her in a temple. She's talking about my brother. And I didn't know what the temple was. I said, where's the temple? Okay, I didn't know what that meant. She came and she showed me that room inside the door with the little keypad. And my brother came and opened up the door. And it was called the temple they were calling it the temple for some reason. It was weird. And I went in, and there was this is strange, but there was a big turntable in the room with people kind of like hogtied on it. And she was on it, hogtied. And when it came around, and it came up to where I could get to her, and I grabbed her, and she was pretty much already gone. I mean, she was just barely alive. And at that point, I woke up screaming. I mean, I woke up screaming and I was crying. I mean, it shook me up so bad, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a hard time sleeping for several days. It was so real. And I cried and I prayed and I begged God not to let this happen. I mean, I was just certain that something horrible was going to happen. And she was 11 years old. You know, and I believe that the Bible, I'm pretty sure, talks about 12 years old being the age of accountability, somewhere in that neighborhood. So anyways, that was what I dreamed, and I don't know that there's any meaning to it or not. It was very realistic, and it was very scary. I mean, we could speculate on what the bombs were. They could be meteorites. We could have been under attack from another country. I honestly don't know, but I do know this. When we named my daughter, her name is Aaliyah. It's spelled Aleia instead of the traditional way people spell it. But it's a biblical name, a biblical word. And I kind of thought that it was, but I never looked up the meaning. We just thought it was a pretty name and named her that. I never even thought to look it up. Honestly, until last year, not even last year. It was early this year. It wasn't even last year. It was this year. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even that long ago, maybe just a couple months or so. At any rate, I looked up her name, and it was a little it was like a different spelling. I knew we spelled it a little different than most people. But when we looked up the name, it means to rise and to ascend. It's a word that the Jews are still using, and it's all about the march to Zion and coming back to Israel. And the fact that in that dream, my brother put her in the temple. And when we're called up in Thessalonians, it says we're called up to meet with Christ in the air. But in Revelation, it also talks about the male child, which I did a video about this not too long ago. It was about Revelation 12. And in Revelation 12, it talks about a male child that was called up to God's temple, to God's throne room, or to the temple of God. And I don't know. This is very interesting that was there. I feel like that dream means something, but honestly, I don't know what it means. I've been praying about it and trying to figure it out. If anybody has any ideas what they think it means, but that's pretty much it. I mean, after like I said, I woke up and it disturbed me for several days. I feel like something bad is coming. I don't know what. I've heard lots of stories about asteroids. I've heard that there could be an invasion from another country. It could have been either of these or both. I mean, I don't know. But that's all for now. I'm going to get off here tonight. And I'm going to post some more of these dreams. Like I said, that was the first one. And I had quite a few of dreams like this. And some of them are a little more clear than others, but I think this was probably the scariest of all because my daughter was hurt. But anyways, y'all have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.